I mean, we did this poll that like 90,000 people voted on. The biggest poll I've ever done. And, Lena retweeted. I think you retweeted as well. So the concept in the poll was, if you're a girl that you sleep with 200 women in exchange for her sleeping with one man, would you do it? 85 or 90% of the people, mostly men, I'm sure, said no. And this started this whole, like, all these other porn stars started to chime in. If you see the comments, these like established like porn girls and guys are starting to make comments about how, see, this is what I'm talking about. Women are treated as property and belongings and everything else like that. And listen, when you go outside the country, you go in the Middle East. I was just in Dubai. Like, it's a real thing. Like, women are walking around in the burqas that are literally a little eye slit. You're not going to see her hair. You're not going to see her figure. You're not going to see nothing. And I think most men do feel a sense of ownership with their women. And there's also this interesting concept of body count and stuff like that. Like how many bodies is too much for you to wife a woman? Is 5 too many? Is 10 too many? Is 20 too many? I mean, I remember someone had the best comment that they said, I don't give a shit about how many people my partner slept with. Do they have a clean STD test? Right? You can sleep with one person and have AIDS.
Yeah,
what I'm saying? That's one too many.
Everybody working in the adult industry has a clean STD test, because otherwise they wouldn't be in the adult industry. I get tested every 2 weeks. So does every single girl that I shoot with, which when I think about how often I got tested when I was still a civilian, I was fucking random girls with no condom all the time and getting tested like maybe once a year. So, yeah, I mean, the body count thing, I mean, I didn't even consider that. I mean, she's been loyal to me for 7 years. I guess if it was anything, it was really more of a process of me just getting conditioned and becoming numb to the fact that this just wasn't that big a deal. Like, I think me and her over the course of the last 7 years, I'm going to guess that we've had like 250 threesomes, maybe 300.
Woo.
So the idea, and, we have porn all over the internet. So the concept of my girl exchanging her time and her body for money on camera is something that I've gotten very, very used to, and I'm not worried about. And it just over time started to seem to me like, well, if I've seen you hook up with 100 different girls and I've seen them give you pleasure on camera, is it really that much more traumatizing or terrible for her to do a scene with another guy? Like, even yesterday, I was in a huge orgy with her with like 10 other people, and she's the only girl in the orgy that was only hooking up with me as far as dudes go, and then she was hooking up with the other girls as well.
But there are other naked men around.
Yeah, so there's 3 different naked dudes who are fucking the other girls, but they knew, we discussed it beforehand, that Lena is currently, moving slowly in terms of doing content with other guys or whatever. And, at a certain point while I'm doing this and I'm, banging her friend right next to her and I'm licking some other girl's butthole, I'm doing God knows what, I'm kind of thinking in my head, like, would it bother you if your girl just smashed her face down on one of these dudes' dicks and started sucking it in front of you? And I was like, it wouldn't really bother me. Like, at this point, it would just kind of seem like whatever. Like, we're making content, we're having a good time. It just really wouldn't hit the same way for me that I feel like it hits for the average person.
If by some chance Lena did get pregnant by Jason Love,
which is not, it's not possible. She already had her period.
But something, it would have been actually interesting. Let's just say she didn't have her period. And now you have this period of time where you're wondering, whose baby is it? Right? Because you guys are still having sex.
Right.
But you don't know.
Right.
Would she get an abortion? Knowing that it might be yours? Ooh, see? Yeah. You see where I'm going with this?
That could get tricky. I mean, she was on the pill at the time.
But pills are not 100%.
This is true. Would she have an abortion? I mean, how late into the pregnancy was it going to take before she could tell whose kid it was?
Can you do a DNA test while someone's pregnant?
Like in the first few months? I honestly don't know.
Let's look this up. Good question. Yes, prenatal DNA tests make it possible to confirm paternity as early as 7 weeks into the pregnancy, using a non-invasive method to provide highly accurate results at no risk to your health or the health of your unborn child. So yes, 7 weeks in, you could figure it out.
Yeah, I don't think, I mean, keep in mind also, I've been fucking my girl for 7 years and never nutted in her when it wasn't intentional, you know, like when we were trying to have kids. And like a few times when she was on her period and we felt safe with it and everything like that. But, you know, I have pretty good trigger discipline. So I think if she did get pregnant, we would have known that it was as a result of him. So definitely we probably would have got rid of it, which would have been a travesty and kind of a weird ending to this whole arc. But
and then we kill the baby afterwards. The end.
no, I'm just saying, like, I am pro-choice. I'm
pro-choice.
I'm not a pro-lifer,
No,
but
me
I do
neither.
think that abortion is something that should probably occur as infrequently as possible. Like, I definitely don't see myself ever having an abortion with my girl. Like, it's not something I'm looking forward to doing. So I definitely wouldn't be hyped on the idea of it, especially even just having a kid makes me relate to the pro-life side a little bit more, where it does seem like kind of a, you know, just not something that I would want to do, even though I respect other people's decisions if they want to do it, and I do think it should remain legal. But nah, if she did end up pregnant with his kid, I would not. Well, I mean, I guess I honestly would have to fucking do it. We'd probably give it up for adoption or something. Maybe we just give it back to him once we're done, right?
What?
No, but that was never really like a serious.
That's still her baby also. That's
Yeah,
going to
you're
be
right.
your daughter's
Yeah.
half sibling.
And that's why when I said that as a meme in the conversation with FYBJ Main, where I told him that I would raise the kid myself, I was just joking around. At that point, I already knew that it was not a possibility that she was going to get pregnant.